never gets called for a foul on those type of things.
Right.
Whereas other players, you criticize the referees for not making a call. They're quick to tech you up.
Yeah.
And he does not get that. Obviously, look, the people are watching the game to see LeBron James. Yeah. They're not there to see the refs, and the refs know that. They're going to keep their stars in the game.
And the refs don't want to insert themselves into the game like that. They don't want to put the focus, the spotlight on them.
Absolutely.
Especially at a home game. So
going forward, look, you look at right now where they're at. It's pretty much shaping up that Golden State, San Antonio, and Cleveland all have the possibility of well, it's going to happen.
They got the line. They got the line.
They're going to be there. They're definitely going to be there. But the team that no one is talking about is San Antonio.
Well, San Antonio is a incredible team. You got an incredible talent with Kawhi Leonard over there. You got LaMarcus Aldridge. I think he went like 10. Dude, I watched that game. I saw San Antonio run like the same play.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to do until you stop it. Until you stop it, they're going to run the same play.
He looked a lot like Karl Malone out there, stopping and popping. That J, because I remember watching Karl Malone, and every time he pull up for that 15, 17-foot J, war buckets every time.
But the thing is that them constantly running that play, you know that it's coming. You can't stop it. But they're getting in sync. And when you look at this team, they're starting to incorporate some younger guys into the game. Some guys that are learning the San Antonio way of playing.
Right.
And San Antonio's 25-6, a game and a half behind Golden State.
Yeah.
They're not that far off.
Not at all.
You talk about Paul Gasol, you're talking about Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, David Lee, Simmons, Ginobili coming off at the bench, Anderson, Patty Mills. You name it, Dedmon. They have some guys that are willing to put in some time and play some ball, some sound NBA ball. And Pop is doing a great job at coaching this team.
You got the best coach in the league. Hands down. The distance between him as a coach and everyone else is pretty huge.
And the weird thing is that everyone was saying, hey, look, this guy was doing it with Tim Duncan. How much credit? This right here. If you stop right now, he gets Coach of the Year. Oh,
for sure. For sure.
He has to. He has to.
Unless someone has unless some coach has a miraculous turnaround of some particular team.
Watch out for the moves. Yeah, you're right.
Unless the New York Knicks turn it around and actually become actual contenders or something like that.
Happen. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. But it could.
It could. And look, one day it may snow in San Antonio. It could happen.
It might. It got cold out here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it did.
But
and then it turned into 80 degrees.
Hot as I don't know what.
Oh my God.
But the Spurs are Greg Popovich. He will solve the Kyrie Irving conundrum.
Well,
and like you said, he may be he'll be one of those guys to be like, look, a lot of people are scared to let LeBron take over the game and get all the credit because they know he's capable.
Because I know how Cleveland fans are thinking, yes, Kyrie Irving did go for 50 against the San Antonio Spurs. I get that. It was here in San Antonio when he went for the 50 points. But even a broke clock is right twice.
That's it. Let me tell you. Coach Pop
in a series, Pop is not going to allow Kyrie Irving to take the last shot every game. It's just not going to happen.
It ain't going to happen.
He'll live with LeBron taking it.
He will. And people will be shocked by that. But Pop would be like, yo, LeBron, go ahead, get yours. I don't care.
Right.
Nobody else around you is going to help you.
Right.
And that's the way I'll approach it.
I don't think that you'll take Kyrie out of the game, but in that situation, you got to take the ball out of his hands.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So look, let's move it on to the NFL.
Well, moving on to the NFL.
We had Saturday, we had Sunday, which, look, you look at it, that was a great schedule.
Pretty good schedule.
You're talking about the games on Saturday, some pretty big games. And then you had the two games on Sunday, on Christmas Day. with Pittsburgh and Baltimore, and then of course the Chiefs and the Broncos. And then you had the Monday night game, right? Which we'll get into. But 3 days of football.
I don't even know
it was pretty good.
It was pretty good Monday night.
Huh?
Did the Cowboys play Monday night?
They may have had a showing. Lord, just a smidgen. But let's continue with the Giants. Okay. Against
G-Man.
Philly on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Everything was teed up for them. Okay. They would be able to make a statement going against a rival, and they lose.
They got to hand it to them.
They did.
They got to hand it to them from start to finish. I mean, the Giants jumped out early and didn't let up.
Right.
But, this was you kind of felt like this was a trap game for them anyways. This is a division game. The Giants just, coming off of that, I don't know. They just didn't seem like the Giants team that could take it all the way this time. They seemed like they had peaked and then maybe fell back a little bit.
Eli throwing 63 times for 356 yards.
You're not going to win. Nobody wins that
You're not
way.
going to win a lot of games like that.
Nobody.
You're just not. And then you move on and you're looking at some other games on Saturday. Okay.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, they clinch a spot. They beat the Bills. The Patriots dominated the Jets. The Jets,
that wasn't even worth watching.
Look, the bad thing about the Jets is they have some talent on that team, but it just does not seem to come out. I mean, you cannot get a consistent effort from the Jets to save your life.
You can't put it all together,
and that's not coaching,
right?
I don't even think that comes down to coaching. I mean, I don't know exactly what to say about the Jets and their inconsistent effort week in and week out. I mean, they were starting off and Fitzpatrick was I have no idea.
Nobody trusted him.
No one trusted this guy.
6 picks one game. And
he's still in there.
They played the Patriots at home. So
right.
we'll give them a pass against this. It was very unlikely that they were going to beat them anyways.
Right.
For sure.
Then you have the Jaguars playing against the Titans. The Titans take a big loss in Marcus Mariota, which we're going to jump into because between him and Derek Carr was lost for the season. There were some big injuries this past weekend.
Yeah, it was.
And but the Jaguars, they get a victory. Okay, they just lost their coach. They get a victory. They beat the Titans. Okay. This is possibly something to build on for the Jaguars going forth. But half of those players aren't even going to be there when this team actually becomes good. And we missed. Let's just go ahead and say that. We missed big time on the Jaguars.
I really thought they were going to turn that corner in the AFC South to make some noise. They had a pretty soft division. I thought they were going to make some noise, but just couldn't get it done.
Right.
And you don't want to. You want to talk about a team that's got something to build on. All right, let's talk about them Cleveland Browns.
Hey,
all right,
Cleveland
Browns,
right,
with the victory over the San Diego Chargers. Okay.
Yeah.
That's something to build on.
That is something to build on. And look, one thing that we can say is, and I know a lot of people say, well, they don't have anything to play for. And going into this last week, these last 2 weeks in the NFL, that was the consensus. The Eagles didn't have anything to play for. Carolina didn't have anything to play for.
Right.
The Browns didn't have anything to play for. The 49ers didn't have anything to play for.
Yep.
And we saw the one thing that people tend to really not be able to relate to is the fact that these guys didn't get to the NFL by just mailing it in.
Right.
There is a competitive nature, I guess there's just that competitiveness about them that they want to always go out and compete. And they never just want to mail it in. Even though as fans, we tend to say, hey, look, you have nothing to play for. Let's rest this guy. Let's rest that guy. Let's not really go all the way.
That's right? What we say. But then when people actually do it, we talk bad about them. But yeah, you're right. I mean, look, you get paid to play the game.
Right.
And there's a certain pride that comes with coming off that field with a victory in a football game. Mm-hmm. Fans are paying to see you come out. You know, in Cleveland, still got fans paying to see him come out and play.
Absolutely.
Okay, and you owe it to them.
You were excited when the Chargers missed that field goal. I can't imagine too many people weren't excited.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I know it was definitely elation. I bet even some Chargers fans was like, "Oh well."
You know what?
Yeah, you know what? That ain't all right. Hey, good for Cleveland.
Because at the end of the day, no one's going to remember who Cleveland got that one win against.
Nope.
But if Cleveland did not win a game, that would be pretty bad.
We'll remember that.
Absolutely,
that for sure.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you want to tip your hat. Now, I think Hugh Jackson is a good coach. I just think that it's going to take a little bit longer than they're giving him credit.
Uphill climb out there, brother.
Absolutely.
It is a uphill climb.
And the way that things worked out, when Cleveland got that first win, that then moved the 49ers into the number 1 draft pick.
Wow.
Which 3 hours later, they go out and they beat the Rams. Which then returned the number 1 draft pick to the Cleveland Browns.
Just mail it in, man. Come on.
You know that's not going to happen. You already know that's not going to happen.
Yo.
The Redskins, they stay alive in their playoff push with the win over the Bears, the Falcons. They stay hot. They move into the number 2 spot behind the Cowboys in the NFC with the win over the Panthers. Where do the Panthers go from here?
The Panthers, well, they played Atlanta, okay, right. And you know they just didn't show up. I mean, that Falcons offense got off to a hot start, scored quick, couple touchdown and a couple of field goals, and Carolina just didn't have an answer for them. Simple as that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, their season was over. You had Luke Kuechly sitting; he'll be sitting the rest of the season. You had Cam Newton with a putrid performance this entire year. Just wide receiver play, just not there. There's a lot of things that needs to be fixed on this Carolina Panthers team, and I think it's really time to evaluate whether what type of team this is going to be going forward.
Right.
And what type of quarterback Cam Newton is going to be going forward.
I mean, is he still elite? Let me ask you that.
No, he's not. He has the capability to be. He has the capability to be elite, but he's not. He's just not. He's a second, third tier quarterback right now.
Is he better than Eli Manning?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I don't want to answer that.
Wow.
I don't want to answer that.
Feelings
I think he's not an interception machine.
No, he's not. He's not. Is that how you would describe Eli, as an interception machine?
You know what? I just walked right into that, didn't I? Look, if
wow.
I'm done with that. I'm not even going to touch that.
We're going to move on. We're not even going to touch it. I won't compare them again until the next show.
But look, you're going up against Matt Ryan, who's an MVP candidate, in my opinion.
Right.
Having a great year. Had Julio Jones back. He didn't have a great day. He didn't have a 300-yard day like he had on us the first game, which is good.
No, I give you that.
Okay?
I give you that.
But here's what I do think. I do think the Carolina Panthers, we got things we got a few things together on defense as the season progressed. I think the rookie secondary, which was thrown back there after the foolish decision to let Josh Norman go, has really come together. I do. And these are some real hard growing pains for them in the secondary, but I think they've kind of brought it together, and I think that's definitely something they can build off of. And if they can hold coverage like they've done the second half of the season a little bit, I think can give that defense a little more time to get to the quarterback. I think Carolina kind of does lead the league in sacks, so they are able to put some pressure on those quarterbacks. We had a good day stopping the run. We just couldn't stop Matt Ryan. I mean, he was consistent, and you expect that from him and their push. But they've got that two-headed monster. Tevin Coleman broke out late, scored a touchdown. So yeah, much props to Atlanta.
No, you got
Carolina back to the drawing board. Another draft. We'll see what happens next year.
Absolutely. Hey, that good insight. that good Charlotte,
sure.
North Carolina insight that you got, your sources placed within the organization, I'm sure. I mean, look, they'll just, at the end of the day,